yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Rage is like a wind, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What's Shaking Titans. I am your host, Gary Bailey. And before we get started, we have a huge announcement here at What's Shaking Titans. Here, we got the one, the only Massey Tooth Savage sitting there in the middle, and then right next to him, we got your super fan, the one, the only Matt Maddox. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing today?
What's up, bro? Man, super good. Super glad to be back on What's Shaking, man. Glad to be back and get talking two-tone blue, boy.
Dude, talk about it, man. Talk about it. It's been a long break, guys, but we are back here at What's Shaking Titans. Maddox, man, how you been, bro? Good to have you back.
Yeah, man. Good to be back. Been, kind of out of the podcast for a minute. So, just good to be back, talking Titans, doing something that I love to do, of course, with you too. I always love talking Titans with both of you guys. But yeah, just been chilling and kind of getting my daughter ready for the upcoming, school year and stuff like that. So, been pretty busy with that, man, and just trying to keep her, kind of calm until that all starts, man. Summer's rolling up, so she's excited for all the kids in the neighborhood to be back. But yeah, man, excited to be back with the podcast game for sure.
Awesome, guys. So, man, I tell you what, it's been a journey, but we're back here. We're talking Titans today. We're talking a new era. So let's get into it, man. Let's start out with the basics. Let's go into talking about the coaching staff. Here we go. We got some new coaching staff changes. You know, we let go of Mike Vrabel. We got Brian Callahan as the new head coach. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
Go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the last episode that we all did together, just hitting on, how Brian Callahan's, first initial press conference went, how everything was, about communication throughout, the whole organization, inside and outside of the locker room, and even on the field on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, whenever game day is. And just kind of, being more, connected and more together than the, organization previously was or was previously said to have been. Um, and I think that a lot of that has shown over the progression of, the offseason and the coaching staff hires, not only in, just Brian Callahan himself, but, moving down into, the offensive coordinator with Nick Holes and then, Denard Wilson for the, defensive coordinator. Those were huge steps in, the right direction of which I feel like the defense and offense needed to go. Nick Holes being more of a passing game guy, coming from Jacksonville, and then Denard Wilson, having that secondary, experience, that'll definitely help out with a bunch of the holes that we had last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Blue, let me ask, or Massey, sorry, my bad. Massey, let me ask you, man, what is your thoughts about, Brian Callahan hiring his father, Bill Callahan, as the offensive lineman coach?
Obviously, man, I think that's a great thing for the whole Titans organization. Not only because it is his dad, and then obviously they have their own relationship outside of football, but the simple fact that that's what an organization needs to be able to make a playoff run or a Super Bowl run and things like that is the orientation of a family type feeling. And so I think it's a really good pickup for the Titans, along with Brian, you know what I mean? So him and his dad can get together on the field and make things happen for a whole organization, which is just going to make them one huge family. So I really love this pickup, man, and I really hope it all works out with him doing the O line because obviously we need help over there. And
Guilty.
I believe it was Maddox on the last episode we all did together. He said, if for some reason that Bill messes up, Brian's able to go over there and be like, "Hey man, get your shit together." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really love this pickup, and like I said, me personally as a big family man, I really think it's going to be great for the whole organization. Obviously, it'll be great for them too, being father and son as well.
Yeah, man. I think when it comes to Bill Callahan, I think the one word that keeps popping up, in all the press conference from players, coaches, staff to management is family environment. And like you said, we're all family mans. We all have kids. We pride ourselves in our family, and I think it's huge to have that family environment. In not only in the office but going down into the locker room. It's gonna set this team up for success for sure. I think the hire of Bill Callahan is awesome, bringing in one of the top offensive line coach, which is one of our biggest struggles that we've had. I'd say over the last 2 years, really. But it was definitely last year was terrible on offensive line. So, Blue, man, what's your thoughts on Bill Callahan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a guru. I think that that gives you more leeway in the draft, more leeway to keep certain guys and kind of try to develop them. Um, I don't remember exactly who the offensive line coach was before him, but I mean, not important now. Um,
Facts.
I mean,
Facts,
just,
bro.
to be real about
Facts.
it. But like, I mean, I feel like he can develop guys that are, average into somebody that, is a day one starter or something like that, if he needed to. But I don't think that we're gonna have to do that considering where we're picking in the draft and who's available and stuff like that. But for me, I like the Bill Callahan hire. I think that, he has the experience as a Super Bowl coach, being a head coach and stuff like that. And Brian not having the experience as, a head coach and just, kind of sitting where he's been in Cincinnati and, other organizations working with quarterbacks, I think that he can kind of help him along and progress him from the sideline, kind of just kind of be there to tether him if he needs it, not necessarily do his job for him, but kind of just like an anchor.
Yeah.
But I think for us, honestly, and like you both can chime in on this, top coaching staff hire for me has to kind of be Nick Holes. I think I have a lot of high expectations for him. I mean, you have a guy in Will Levis. If Will Levis is your guy, then you're a playoff contender this year. If Will Levis is the guy, then the Titans are a playoff contender this year. There's no question about that. Nick Holes, the Jaguars, ninth in the league in passing yards per game. last year, and then you give Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, and DeAndre Hopkins this year, along with a couple of the other auditions. But the speed from Ridley and the way that Levis can just air it out, man, that's going to be something crazy to watch this year, especially with the DeAndre Hopkins thing. Because if you look at last year, that's all we had. I mean, the defense knew where every pass was going. Oh, well, guard D Hop, watch D Hop. Where's D Hop? Where's D Hop? Because you knew that's where
Yeah.
Levis was going. So I think the
Yeah.
Nick Foles hire is huge for us. 13th in the league in points per game.
Yeah, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm super excited about the addition of our offensive coordinator. And I
Hey, they
think
still averaged 90 something. I think it was 95 yards per game rushing too.
yeah,
So I mean,
Nice.
you have Spears and Pollard, man. I think that with Callahan and Holmes working together, I think that offense is going to be explosive, man.
yeah, most definitely.
I agree.
And then, guys, real quick, I want to take the time to say what Shaken Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue, Smoking Good Barbecue. You can look us up on Facebook, Twitter. We're on all platforms. You can check us out there. But Bailey's Barbecue. And then, guys, if you are a Temu user, you can use code TAN83620 and get 30% off site wide. But if you're new to Temu and you don't have an account, follow the follow the link in the description below and you'll get $100 coupon bundle. And then, guys, our newest addition here is Luke's Breakfast and Burgers. Guys, it is a phenomenal place, phenomenal food, great staff. Go check them out. One of the best burger joints in Tennessee. It's located at 255 Dixon Plaza Drive, Dixon, Tennessee 37055. You can check them out. They are open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 8 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, and then Friday 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So definitely go check out Luke's. It is an awesome place. And then with that being said, guys, you know we're talking about this coaching staff. Let's talk about someone who helped put this coaching staff together, and that's Rand Carthon. I think out of all the GMs this year, you have to take your hats off and nod to Rand Carthon because he's been cooking. I mean, literally, he's been cooking. They put together a awesome coaching staff, and then not only that, the newest addition through free agency is awesome. I'm pumped up. I'm ready for the draft. I'm still in hopes that we make moves in free agency, but we'll get into all that in just a minute. So we're gonna hold the brakes on talking about free agency, but let's talk about Rand Carthon. What's y'all's thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, go ahead, Massey.
I really think Rand, Gary, you actually took the words out of my mouth that I was going to say as well. I think he's done a great job so far, and I'm super excited to see how it all gets put together on the field. But one of the biggest things that I am looking forward to see how he handles is this upcoming draft and how that's going to go and how he incorporates the players that he does draft, even up to the seventh round draft pick. Like we were mentioning earlier, and of course I'll let Blue dive in on that. But every pick's going to be um, it's going to have to be useful throughout the whole season, whether it is the first or second round pick or the fourth, the couple 4 round picks or whatever we have. Um, so that is what I'm very interested to see as far as Rand goes. But it's so far, man, A+ grade for me. And like you said, Gary, that man is literally cooking right now. So I'm excited to see how him and Bill or him and Brian put it together on the field. What about you, Blue?
Yeah, I mean, pretty well said, honestly. I mean, you can't say much more than, he's done a great job so far this offseason. With the signings, I know like the money doesn't fit right with a lot of people. It doesn't sit right on their stomach. A lot of these, like, and this is, from Wes Wisely. A lot of teams, do these 4-year deals now, 3, 4-year deals, and within 2 years, the teams are able to get out of these contracts. A lot of the money for these guys is wrapped up in next year, not this season. So it's a lot of small portions of that money being taken out this season as far as salary cap hits, and then the fully guaranteed money, coming out and stuff like that. So all their money is, accumulated during those first 2 seasons. So after those first 2 seasons, any of these guys can be expungible. That's, including with Snead that we just got from the Chiefs in that trade. Like including that deal. So even with that, if something's not working in 2 years with Snead, the Titans have a way to get out of that and still kind of sit comfortably with how the deal works out. So I can't really complain with Grant Carthon. I think he's done a lot better job than previous ownership. The previous regiment of the GM here with the John Robinson and whatever that was. I mean, if we had them, I mean, we probably would have re-signed Derrick Henry and traded Jeffrey Simmons or some crap by now, like just something wild, like.
It's a good
But
point.
I don't think that you can really give him below an A.
Yeah.
As far as the grading for this offseason, I think that he's done a great job, addressing some, key needs. Maybe some players don't fit right with, some people, like I said, but they're key needs for a new offense. So I like the way that he's played everything out.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And then real fast, just want to take the time, man. You brought up Derrick Henry. And, just want to take the time to thank him for all he's done for this organization, all the hard work that he's put in. He was the face of the franchise for what, close to 9 years. I mean, he dominated
eight
the
seasons.
League. 8 seasons, yeah. He dominated. My hats go off to him. I wish him the best. I hope he goes and wins a couple Super Bowls.
He's an op now.
He deserves it. So, what's y'all's thoughts? On Henry.
He's the ops now. He's the ops now.
I'm saying, I agree with what you said, Gary, but at the same time, if it comes down to a playoff matchup with the Titans and Ravens, I'm going for the Titans. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Henry,
he wins a couple Super Bowls in that contract.
I wish him the best. But at best, I wish him 3-14 or whatever.
So, what do y'all think Henry has to do in order to solidify himself in the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest running backs?
You got You got to get that MVP.
The MVP.
Come back and retire as a Titan. I
think you have to either get the Super Bowl. You either have to win a Super Bowl or you have to get an MVP.
Yeah. The year that he rushed,
or maybe a second 2,000-yard season. You think that would maybe do it?
Yeah, because he'd be the only player to ever do that, man.
Oh, so that would almost have to solidify him.
You would have to. He'd be the only player to ever rush for 2,000 rushing yards. And I mean,
I would think so.
The likelihood of that happening, though, now at his age and is low. But he is on a team that is very dominant in the run. So I mean, I was going to say
that same thing, bro. Them RPOs are going to be crazy.
Yeah,
yeah, they are. Yeah.
I just hope
because he's a decent receiving running back.
Okay, let's say it this way. And sorry if this gets off topic or gets into something that you wanted to say later.
Talk about
but Derrick Henry, man, this season is going to be wild. Okay, he could honestly break bro. The hip drop tackle rule, all that stuff, that's coming into play and stuff. This is going to be a completely different NFL season than we've ever seen before. Exactly. Now it's a lot of adjustment to players. A lot of that is on defense still. I feel like it's a lot of defensive adjustment all the time. There's not really much rule change to the offense, as far as what intrudes to them and what their, bread and butter is. But as far as defense, if the hip drop tackle was always a legitimate rule, the Titans are Super Bowl champions then. If that's the case, then the Titans would be Super Bowl champions. If that rule was back then. That would have been a penalty, and we would have had, no time left on the clock, and then you get one possession, and then, you score, and you win the Super Bowl. But with that hip drop tackle, man, that's going to make Derrick Henry absolutely dominant, I feel like. And just that scheme, if you watch the Ravens on tape last year, and the way that they run the RPO, and the way that opens up holes, Derrick Henry is going to eat those holes alive.
Exactly, man.
And it's gonna be fun to watch, but it's also kind of one of those that kind of you're like, eh.
It's a salty
that's
moment,
cool,
man, because you're like, I could.
Yeah, that was cool, bud.
It was so awesome.
Be cooler if you did it in two-tone blue.
It's so freaking awesome.
Look better when you did it over here.
Yeah, look better in blue.
Yeah, for real.
That purple makes you look off, bro. You need to come back to the two-tone.
But no, I will say though, good luck to him in the future. But whenever it comes to Titans versus Ravens, man, I'm gonna want to beat them. Not just him, the Ravens, obviously, but like that would probably just get at him a little more. That make me feel a little bit better about him. Not being a Titan anymore. It's just like, you ain't on our team, but we just beat the team you went to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see. It would have. I don't think we play him in regular season this coming season, but so it would have to be. It would have to be a playoff appearance, which would also be like super, super insane for Henry's first return, going back against the Titans in the playoffs too, with big implications. So we shall see. But obviously, good luck to Henry.
Yeah, man. The only thing I hope is we don't have a reverse of what he did when we faced the Baltimore in the playoffs, the lead block. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would cry if that happens to us. Just like, why, why, Karma,
The
why?
the irony of that.
Right. But guys, so with that being said, let's go in and let's go ahead and talk about our defense additions. So we have a few additions here on defense. Of course, we all know that the Titans just traded for.
Yo, real quick,
Okay.
because you said defense, and we're talking about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and Jeffrey Simmons. 10 out of 10 in the hole. Who's getting it? 10 times in the hole. Who's getting it? Derrick Henry and Jeffrey Simmons is getting it.
I gotta go Simmons just simply because of how many times I've
Because he's
seen
a Titan.
Henry go down so easily this past 2 seasons.
Okay, let's say this then.
The way there were smaller defenders getting Henry down, I would have to go Simmons on that one.
Let's say this then. Before Henry's ankle injury, who would you have? Because before that injury, I'd have to say that'd be a nasty collision. But Henry,
and that's like hitting 2 hammers together, bro. I just
I'd like to see it for sure. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
to watch.
I'd love to see that, honestly.
Dude, all right. So,
I'm hoping we get to see that.
Pro Bowl. They need to do this at the
facts.
Pro Bowl. They need to start lining up these people and just let's see
Omaha
who can
drills.
get the Omaha drills.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Bro, what about a new rule? So like a new rule completely, like have a normal football game going in the Pro Bowl, but the substitutions are like on the fly, like hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like people just run on and off the field. Bro, that'd be so
that's
crazy.
You said that. Which I know this is off topic too, but they're actually considering doing that for the NBA. I heard about that.
They're like, oh crap, he beat me down the field. Just like run off the field. The next guy down there just runs on. That's already down there. It's like I got him. Like, fuck.
I feel like sports are definitely fixing to be like changing into like where the no offense to anybody that's watching, but the older people that have been watching sports for so long are just gonna be like, I don't even, my dad's gotten that way already with NASCAR, but anyways, sorry, that was off topic. So back to the defensive guys we picked up so far.
Yeah, so back to the defensive guys we picked up so far. We traded with the Chiefs to get L'Jarius Sneed. We got Kenneth Murray. We also got I'll let Maddox say his name, but Azue.
Shaquid
Azue.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, no. Chid.
Chid, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Chidobe.
Guys, don't kill me. I'm bad with pronouncing names. We all know this. After 3 seasons, we all know that I suck at pronouncing names. But we also
his last name is Awuzie.
We also got defensive lineman Sebastian Joseph Day. I know he's not on the graphic that is up right now, but we also got
my
him.
fault.
So, guys, what is your thoughts on these new additions on the defense? I know my personal opinion, L'Jarius Sneed, that trade is huge for the Titans. Very huge.
Definitely.
Me personally, I don't think that's the best move that the Titans have made. I have another option, which we'll get into that in just a second. But I think it's huge. I think it's like the second best move that we've made in the offseason. Massey, man, what's your opinion on the Sneed trade?
I love it. I love that. I love that they paid that man because obviously we needed that position filled. So I'm very excited to see him play. I've been obviously, you guys know from watching podcasts now, or y'all know from me personally, but the viewers and everything like that. I like once we get players, I immediately like to go and catch highlights from whatever from previously, whether it was a college player coming into the NFL or an NFL player on another team. So and obviously I'd already been kind of seeing Snead's performances because of the Chiefs, and it's kind of hard not to keep up with the Chiefs during the season as well. So
Talk about it.
I'm very excited to see him be incorporated into the defense with Simmons. I feel like Joseph Day that you mentioned, I feel like he's going to be a great addition to our defense as well. So it's going to be all about, like we were talking about earlier in the show, the coaching staff putting all these pieces of the puzzles together on the field and going out there for 4 quarters or whatever it takes and execute. So, and I really feel like Snead is going to be another great addition, not only on the field but in the locker room as well, because he's going to bring that tenacity and that stuff that like kind of like what Simmons is bringing for the D lineman. You can have Snead and a couple other players in the secondary having that same kind of fierce feeling, and hopefully the defense is going to be immaculate like we've seen in the past. What about you, Blue?
Yeah, I like Snead, man. I think that was one of the bigger acquisitions for us, this offseason, honestly. And just like you said, man, the energy that he brings to, the field and stuff like that. Also, man, I spoke with his mother actually on Facebook, Miss Jane, and like his family is super cool, man. They're ready to be a part of the Tooth on Blue Nation, and I've obviously, I was, kind of in a starstruck thing when she actually like messaged me on Facebook. I was like, well, that's wild, like I got to share like my little graphic that I made, when we traded for Snead and stuff with her, and she was like, oh, that's so great, so that was super cool, man. So like I'm excited to have him and his family here, man. I think it's going to be great. Energy for the stadium, great energy for the locker room, like you said, man, on the field. And that's obviously going to make, this pass defense, one of the best in the defense in the league, in my opinion. Now it's the secondary for the Tennessee Titans. You fill up that safety hole, get somebody to help, anchor Hooker like Kevin Byard kind of did, and I think that'll help out a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I love both y'all's takes on that. I mean, y'all hit the nail on the head. This trade was it was a necessary move, by Rand Carthon. And if you go and you listen to the press conference, he talked about how they kind of butted heads at first on it, but then the very next day they're like, all right, let's get this done. And they got it done. They pushed for it. They got this man. And it was a much needed move for this defense. It's going to take a little pressure off of Jeffrey Simmons. It's going to help our secondary out. Um, Snead, if I'm correct, I think he only allowed one touchdown last year.
Yeah,
You
I believe
know,
you're right.
that's freaking him, and that was in the postseason. The whole
Yeah,
regular season he didn't allow a single touchdown from any of his guys. He shut them down.
right.
And I mean, to have a player of that caliber on this team, dude, come on, man. Like, tighten up. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, absolutely, man. It is definitely exciting as hell to anticipate, not only to be able to know that it's going to happen in real life, but just the anticipation for me. I'm just like, oh my God, like August needs to hurry up, September needs to come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, dude, I remember I had a source kind of reach out to me, and it was like a week before it was announced. And it was that the Titans would be trading for Janarius Sneed. Oh my gosh, here I go again.
Legarius, I got
Yeah, Legarius Sneed, and I remember talking to a buddy of ours, and I sent him that, and he absolutely shut it down. No, there's no way. I don't believe that. And then, sure enough, man, a week later, it came out through I think it was Ian Rappaport or somebody on ESPN, bro. And I just lost my mind. I was like, oh man, this is the best move the Titans. One of the best moves, not the best move. One of the best moves that the Titans have made this offseason. But yeah, this defense is going to be sharp. There's still a few pieces that need to be added. Maddox, I'm sorry, you kind of alluded to that. So do you want to kind of break that down on the positions that you think we need to continue to look for in free agency right now while everything's still open?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously you have to address, the safety position. The departure last year of Kevin Byard, you bring in Edmonds. Edmonds was not a very bad piece, but he also wasn't that valuable. So you definitely want to look and address the safety position. Also getting another linebacker. Um, Without Al Shazier there, this year that's going to be something that you want to look at as well. With him breaking that tackle record, in just a single season, and then not re-signing him, letting him walk away to the Texans, and then obviously Danico Autry as well not being back. You're going to want to look to fill that spot besides Jeffrey Simmons, get him some help, to pair with kind of Harold Landry, who I'm assuming would be key on the other side for this season. So there's certain places, just those three real big holes there on the defense that I would still look. Justin Simmons being one of those options. Still in free agency, if he's still available, I'm not sure if he's still out there or not. But I feel like that'd be the biggest, availability still for the defense.
Yeah, definitely, man. If you were Rand Carthon and you had one more move to make, what would be that move, Massey?
In free agency,
In free agency on the defense. One move left.
mm, position wise, I think I would go. I know Joseph Day. Is Joseph Day a defensive endman
Defensive
or
lineman.
a linebacker? Defensive lineman.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's a
so
defensive lineman.
so they picked, so they already got him in free agency, uh, or in trade, whichever it was. So I think I would have to go maybe a maybe a safety or something, position wise.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think because I feel like other than offensive linemen, unless you can come across another decent offensive lineman in free agency, which I know is not easy to do, then you should look more towards your defense because you do still have the draft coming up. So yeah, maybe I would go position wise, maybe a safety. Um, I'm not exactly sure which safety free agents are on the market right now, but I would probably compliment the cornerbacks you just added to the team, along with the couple of linebackers, or not linebackers, the linemen, defensive linemen to go with Simmons, and maybe so either a safety or a linebacker. I would say um, could look in either one of those two positions.
yeah. I agree with that 100%. If we get someone to help Big Jeff out on the front, that'd be awesome to have another trio.
Yeah,
And Rand Carthon's words, it would be nice to be able to assemble the Avengers, on defense.
yeah, no
uh,
doubt.
but I think safety is definitely a position that we need to look at defensively. But with that being said, you kind of mentioned something that's going to transition us into our next topic here. And guys, I want to give a huge shout out to Blueface here. He did all these graphics for us today, so I want to give a huge shout out to him. Guys, definitely go over check out Sport Nation Nash. What is it? Sport Nation
Sports
Nashville.
Nation Nashville.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sports Nation Nashville. Check them out on YouTube, Facebook, man. It's a podcast that's ran by Maddox and Massey. They do an awesome job. And then they're also on here on What's Shaking Titans. So guys, I'm super happy to have y'all on here. We're a big family, brothers. We love it. But with that being said, let's go into talking offense. So here are the new additions to the Tennessee Titans offense. We have running back Tony Pollard from the Dallas Cowboys. The biggest move, and I think the best move this offseason, is center, and Maddox say his name because I'm gonna mess it up. But Leonard, what is it? Leonard Cushenberry.
Oh,
Cushenberry.
Cushenberry, Lloyd Cushenberry.
Yeah, Lloyd Cushenberry.
yeah,
I think that's the biggest move. And the reason why I think that is because you have to anchor the offensive line and then you have to build out. If we don't have an offensive line, guys, it don't matter who we bring in at wide receiver. It don't matter who's our quarterback. we're going to struggle. We seen that last year. We seen that the year before. So this is a very, very big move. We bring in one of the best centers in the National Football League to be the foundation of this offensive line. So I'm really excited about that. Then we traded. We technically didn't trade, but we snuck in and signed Calvin Ridley, which is huge because you pair him beside D
Stole
Hop.
him.
You also have, Cal Phillips, Traylon Burks left on the roster, NWI. It's gonna be awesome to have, this trio out there and kind of see what they do. You
If you
also got
get
to
Chig,
remember
I
we
feel like
have
if you
Tajay
can get
Spears to
Chig and
kind of
Wiley
go.
going too.
Yeah, most definitely. And then we got left tackle Shaquid Charles, if I'm saying that right.
Shakid
Shakid
or
Charles.
Shakid.
Shakid. So
Yeah,
and then we
Shadid.
got
It's
Mason
Shadid.
Rudolph as a backup quarterback. So with that being said, let's bring us back in here, guys. What is your thoughts on all these new additions on offense, man? What do you think is the biggest move?
Go ahead, Blue.
But I did it. Guilty.
Oh man.
What,
I
you
think
want me to
for
go
me,
first?
no, I think for me it's got to be. I think for me it's got to be Calvin Ridley, man. I think that that's a huge piece right now. To kind of open up the passing game for Will Levis. Will Levis had a pretty productive season even behind a crappy offensive line.
Facts.
Obviously, Christian Berry fills that spot with Brewer being absolutely garbage and somehow going and getting paid still somewhere else. I don't know what happened there, but Brewer got paid, not by us. So Cushenberry comes in, takes that spot. And I think, really the offensive line, like you can kind of build with that, and, going into the draft and stuff like that, and, having Bill Callahan here. So I do like the Cushenberry signing, but I really like the Ridley signing. That gives, us a deep threat, somebody with some speed. Um, and, I know like the money's kind of crazy on him, but like I said, 2-year deal that we can get out of, if things aren't, looking great. But if they are, then we have him for, 2 more years. So, pretty good deal overall for the Titans, I feel like, with Ridley.
Man,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Massey, what's your thoughts on Ridley?
I love the Ridley pickup. I'm definitely on board with that. And then so the way I see it from my point of view, I absolutely love the Tony Pollard pickup, and my reason being is because we did just get one of the best centers. We did just get Ridley, so that's going to also open up a running game for Tajay and Tony. So I like the Tony Pollard pickup mainly because I know it's going to probably get Tajay Spears going. If it doesn't get Tajay going, I feel like Tony can get going. You know what I'm saying? So one or the other, I feel like is going to feed and eat really well on the field. So I'm going to say I really like the Tony Pollard pickup, but I do agree with. I feel like Calvin Ridley is probably our best offensive pickup so far. But I also like your point, Gary, on the pickup of the center as well. So they're all going to be hopefully they're all going to be really good additions, and then open up windows of opportunities for the other ones, not only the ones that we just picked up, but also the players that we have coming back next season. So I'm excited to see what we got going on with the whole squad, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then my opinion, I agree. Tony Pollard. You pair him with Tajay Spears. Not only does that give you a dynamic running game, but it gives you a dynamic pass catching game. Then your play actions become more dynamic, more effective because both running backs can catch and take it up the field, and they can both run and take it up the field too. They're both very explosive. We're reworking this offensive line. We got the best offensive line coach and Bill Callahan. I think it's going to be, awesome all around. And then, Calvin Ridley, man, like that is huge. It is very huge. I think he is definitely in my top 3 moves. But the center has to be my number one. But speaking on Ridley for a minute, that's very huge because then you add speed, you take pressure off of D Hop. You look, we talked about this earlier off air. Uh, D Hop was. I mean, he was pinned down last year. Everybody knew the ball was
Yeah,
going to
that was
D
our
Hop.
biggest issue with wide receivers was getting open consistently,
Yeah,
and like creating those opportunities.
or
That's something
actually,
that
or
Ridley can
catching the
actually
ball. I
do is
mean,
get
how many
open.
times did Chig drop the ball last year? You know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
now it used to have the drop factor with Ridley, but of course those balls were ducks thrown by Trevor Lawrence, who's
Yeah.
not a prestige. He's got the same stats as Mac Jones. They're comparable. I'm sorry, Trevor Lawrence is not it. Um,
Jaguars are
but
trash.
they,
He just had to get that
Oh,
out
I
yeah,
there.
said that.
yeah, fuck the
Trash.
Jags. Oh,
We didn't say
anyway,
that,
it was
man. We
never the
we
Jags.
support all the teams, not.
It was never the Jags. I don't hate Jags fans. I just hate their team. So, but like Ridley is somebody that can get open consistently, and we saw with Will Levis last year fitting balls into people like NWI and Kyle Phillips, and even DeAndre Hopkins in some double coverage situations. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins is a Hall of Famer, and one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game. But still, those you can't make a play on the ball unless the ball's there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just like you can't make a play unless guys are catching the ball, unless guys are getting open and stuff like that. So the Ridley addition is huge. But with Pollard coming in, like Matthew was saying, that also opens up a lot of stuff on third down. That gives you two third down backs. In the playoff game last year, Pollard had 7 receptions for like 30 yards. That's not a lot, but like that's a valuable option on third downs that you can kind of key in on. Like you can have Spears swing one way, you can have Pollard swing the other, and then have, another guy run across the middle on a drag, and then another guy go out, have Ridley go all the way out. And it gives you multiple options, and that's going to be very hard for the defense to stop, especially with these new rules being implemented and stuff like that. So really everything's kind of gelled together. The only thing that's left on offense, in my opinion, is getting this offensive line structured around Will Levis to protect him and give him more capable time to, find guys
yeah,
and give times more, give the receivers more time to get open. I know guys didn't get open consistently last year, but didn't have a lot of time to either. So
yeah. And I mean, we have a dynamic, offensive coordinator, and then our head coach is a former, offensive coordinator who, they both are very, good with being productive in the passing game. If you look at their record, from what's his name, the offensive coordinator, what's his name?
Nick Holes,
Nick Foles. Yeah, you look at his time
no,
with
Nick Holes,
Nick Holes.
Hols, not
Yeah,
the
Nick
quarterback,
Yeah.
not Foles, Holes,
Holes. Holes.
Holz. Yeah, Holes.
Yeah, like the movie
He said
with the
like
Nick
the
S on
Foles.
movie.
I was like, no, 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 no,
No, no,
no.
no, no, no.
it.
But yeah,
Nick
I
Folk.
mean, you look
No,
at
I'm
his
just
time with
kidding.
because he came from the Jaguars, correct? You look at his time
Yeah.
there and how productive he was in the passing game. Then you look at Bill Callahan, or Brian Callahan. I'm sorry, from Cincinnati, and how he was able to get them going in the passing game. Um, I think this game comes to my mind, and this is the one thing that I keep thinking of. Go back to Will Levis's first start, which was the very first throwback game. Me and Maddox were there live, and guys, like if you add Calvin Ridley into that mix, that 4 touchdowns, I guarantee would have been doubled. You know, it's
Yeah, and that touchdown to NWI doesn't go to NWI. So
yeah, facts, man. Like
Facts. Yep.
so I'm excited about it. I think the moves that they're making are very dynamic, are very intentional. They are putting together a very competitive roster. For people out there who says that the Titans, are out of the playoff runs, I think with all these moves that they made, we put ourselves in contention, So what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that the Titans could be contenders for playoffs this year?
Yeah,
yeah, I said
absolutely.
that
If
on
they,
the last
yeah,
episode we did together. I said that 100%,
yeah,
bro. If things kept going in the direction they were going, that was after the hire of Callahan.
Yeah.
If things kept going in the direction that they're heading now, then this team is a legitimate, 1 seed contender in the AFC, and that's where things are heading. I mean, I know. Break some news real quick and cut Maxey off real quick. Texans signed Stephon Diggs today. For anybody who hasn't heard the news yet, the Texans have acquired Stephon Diggs from the Bills for a second round pick next year. So that's huge for the Texans, man. I mean, that gives them a loaded offense. You know, already having Joe Mixon come in this, off season. They got Tank Dell and Nico Collins, and obviously C.J. Stroud having his great rookie season that he did last year, and leading the Texans, into the playoffs, into that second round of the playoffs. But I think that kind of pushes the hammer down on we have to get some more secondary help.
Yeah, for sure.
I think at this
Uh,
point that makes safety like the biggest need right now on defense.
Yeah.
right.
Well, and one thing that really excites me, and this goes back to us talking about the defense and L'Jarius Sneed. He said it in his press conference. He's here to shut people down. What the old saying, "Iron sharpens iron." Guess what, guys? He's going to be lining up against D Hop and Ridley, and let me tell you, he's going to make them better, and they're going to make him better. This is going to be a very dynamic team this year. I'm super excited to see where it goes. I think they're doing an awesome job. We just need to continue to be aggressive and attack where we can attack. Massey, what's your thoughts on them being able to build each other up?
Yeah, absolutely. To answer your original question as far as the playoff run goes, at this point, I'm probably going to be sounding like a broken record, but that's okay. That's part of podcasting. Yes, I definitely believe we have the potential to make the playoffs. We just have to do exactly what I've been saying since the beginning of last season, which is, we got to put these certain pieces of puzzles in and incorporate them, and we got to make them work. I mean, if they're not working, then obviously you need to go in a different route. Those are the things. So I do believe 100% the Titans have a chance to make the playoffs and a deep playoff run this season, but we're not going to know it until we see what Rand and Brian have put together off the field, until we get to see it on the field consistently and consecutively. And our win-loss record halfway through the season, I believe I was saying this a few episodes ago too. Our win-loss record 3, 4, 5 games into the season is going to give us a really good idea how the rest of the season's going to go, because by then you've gotten to see a consistent starting lineup on defense and offense and things like that. So
Talk about it.
yes, to answer your question, man, ultimately yes, I 100% believe, and this is not just, excuse me, this is not just me, not only me being a diehard Titans fan. This is me analyzing the coaching staff, the GM, everything that we've been talking about so far this episode and previous episodes. So
Yeah.
generally, genuinely, I think the Tennessee Titans have a shot just based off of the coaching staff moves and the player moves and what we've already had the previous seasons before. So
Yeah.
yeah, to answer your question, man, I 100% believe we can do it. I hope
Nick
that they
Wright
put all
thinks
that
that we're
stuff
gonna have
together.
the Nick Wright thinks that we're gonna have the number one overall pick.
Really?
Trade for it.
So a trade? Oh no, you're
No.
talking about next year. Yeah, I seen that, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they were like,
Yeah.
why are they signing everybody then? He was like, because they're
Trash, man.
poorly ran.
Trash. That's a trash. That's stupid. Trash.
Yeah. Oh, Nick wrong.
Nick wrong. That's right. That's right. So real quick,
yeah, they
guys, want to
spelled
give
his
a
name wrong.
huge shout out to Will O'Neal. He's in the comments. He said, "What's up, my dudes? How's everyone doing, bro? We are awesome. We are glad to be
Well,
back. The premiere of
Will.
season 3. Want to also take the time to welcome back to What's Shaking Titans, your one, the only Titans superfan, co-host and host of Sports Nation
let's go.
Nashville, Matthew Maddox, aka Blueface. Guys, man, real quick while we're on this, let's go and just shout out some things real quick. What's Shaking Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue. Bailey's Barbecue, smoking good barbecue. Look us up on Facebook, guys. If there's anything you want catered, anything like that, definitely send a message to us on Bailey's Barbecue. We'll get in touch and we'll get something going. We also do dinner plate sales, guys. It's awesome. I'll put up some videos of some stuff that we've done on a later episode. Then I also want to go to Temu, guys. If you are a Temu user, use code TAN83620 and get 30% off site wide. And then if you're not new to Temu and you're trying to set up an account, follow the link in the description below, and you'll receive a $100 coupon bundle. And then, guys, if you're hungry and you just want something good, some good old burgers or even some breakfast, go check out Luke's Breakfast and Burgers, located in Dixon, Tennessee at 255 Dixon Plaza Drive, Dixon, Tennessee 37055, guys. It is one of the best burger joints in Tennessee, one of the best breakfast places, guys. You see the pictures here. You know, do the heart attack burger challenge. It is a 40-pound burger, or 40-ounce burger, 40-ounce burger with, I think, 20 ounces of onion rings and stuff like that on it. If you can finish that in 30 minutes, then you'll receive a $25 gift card plus a shirt. It is it's phenomenal. We have great servers there. I'm a grill cook there. It's awesome. So definitely go check it out, guys. That is Luke's Breakfast and Burgers. So with that being said, let's go back into it. Will's in the comments. He's killing it. So he said, let's go, my dudes. So guys,
y'all go get you a 40-pound burger,
bro.
I'm just kidding,
bro. If you look at that burger, it's like this tall, man. It's like 5 8-ounce burger patties on top of each other.
How long you got to eat it?
You have 30 minutes to eat it, bro, and it's crazy.
Nah, y'all playing, bro. Y'all playing around too much.
I can't do it.
I'm tired of somebody, bro.
I'm sure there's people that can do it though.
Dude, they actually had, and there's videos. If you go look up Luke's Burgers on Facebook, you can definitely see videos of. There are 2 guys who actually completed the challenge and beat it. It's remarkable. I couldn't do it.
Wow,
guys, I'll be honest, that burger would last me like 2 weeks.
How much is the burger?
It's 40. You pay $40, but
that's just to enter it.
No, that's for the meal. That's for the heart attack burger.
No, hold on.
So, but if you win, don't you get it for free? If you do it, you get it for free, right?
I believe I'd have to double check on that. I believe it would be free, and you also receive.
We're gonna have all kinds of people rolling up to Luke's Burgers, eating that burger, and being like, "Isn't it free?" They said it was free on the show, dude.
Okay, look, let me
get Gary fired,
for the viewers.
Crap,
let
man.
me reiterate that for the viewers. I am not nowhere near aware of what the stipulations are as far as that competition goes. I was just
he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. No, no, but for real, like I don't even know, guys.
Yeah,
that's why I'm asking questions.
Got the menu. It's on the other side of my computer monitor, so I'd have to get up and then I could tell you the actual stipulations on it. I just I'll do that in just a second. But if
that was my bad, guys.
No, you're good. So if y'all want to,
y'all go try that challenge out, man. For real, go get the T-shirt, man. I'm gonna go try it,
bro.
Like Gary said,
even if you don't try the heart attack
man.
burger, they have all kinds of great burgers there. I mean, we have the Jake, which is a pepper jack cheese seasoned with some cayenne seasoning. It is phenomenal. They got the patty melt. They got this one burger that is literally, the buns is 2 grilled cheeses and the burger's right in the middle. That thing is phenomenal, bro. Yeah,
grilled cheeseburger.
Yeah, bro, it's phenomenal. So definitely go
check them out, man. Yes, sir.
Welcome back to What's Shaking Food Network. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Got foodies over here, guys. Not football analysts, foodies. That's what we are. We analyze food. No, I'm playing.
Get a little bit of both. You get a little bit of both.
Hey, we are going to start our talk show up here soon. Me and Massey. So the Matt and Matt talk show, we'll be having that up and going. It's just going to kind of be, anything, whatever, whenever, whatever comes out of your mouth, it's going to be on air and it's going to stay on YouTube, and that's just how it's going to be. So, super excited to do that too, and like I said, I just kind of got away from wanting to do the podcast for a little while and wanting to manage doing all the graphics and stuff like that. And I know Gary can tell that takes a lot of time and effort, and then you'll look at it after you get it done, you're like, nah, don't like it, and then completely have to redo it, or just completely take the the topic out or whatever it is. So it was cool to get away from it for a while, but with everything happening, it's super exciting to get back into talking about it.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'll definitely go out and say right now, for me, of course, I created What's Shaking Titans. My first co-host was my sister, so it was just us. I produce, edit, direct, everything while we're live on air. So y'all see me kind of moving around, eyes everywhere. It's because I'm literally running the whole show. You know, while I'm hosting the show. It's awesome, but like to what Maddox was saying, it's a lot. Doing the graphics, doing the thumbnails, everything. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. So just to have y'all support, smash the like button. Definitely subscribe to our channel if you're not yet subscribed to our channel. That will also help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Give us a follow on Facebook as well at What's Shaking Titans. You can see in the scrolling text below, there's links to all of our social media platforms. You can check us out on all of them. But yeah, it's good to take a time off and just kind of recenter, regroup, and be able to come in fresh and renewed. Because you go through a whole season, it gets stressful at times, and you experience some ups and some downs, and you know but the thing about it is we're still here, we're still going, we're a team, and that's all that matters. So we're putting out great content. Maddox puts out great content on his channel as well, so definitely go check them out. And then, guys, want to give a huge announcement. We announced it at the end of season 2, but Twin Titans Sport Network is officially launched. There will be a YouTube channel, and what that is that's going to be a channel of multiple podcasts. So, like, for say, if Sport Nation Nashville joined in, they would be on there. What Shaking Titans will definitely be on there. We'll also have the Bryson Haley show on there. So it's going to be multiple podcasts, multiple different people's opinions and thoughts. We'll cover everything from football to basketball to hockey, you name it. It's going to be on there. It's going to take time to grow, but we'll get there. So, guys, definitely be looking out for that official YouTube
Oh,
channel.
y'all can count me and Massey in on that What's Shaking NBA. We got y'all on that all
Oh
day.
yeah,
Hey, you ain't got to worry
yeah,
about
we're
it.
there for that. There
Yep.
for it.
Yeah, we got you on that one. Yeah. Hey, the NBA is pretty crazy right now, honestly, bro. Like, if you think about like, the NBA and like everything with basketball right now, like, sorry to get off football and Titans here, but March Madness has been absolutely crazy. Living up to the name, obviously, but has been
Yeah.
super exciting. It's been so exciting that Devin Booker had a monster game the other night with 8 threes, and it just went like completely under the radar because Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were playing in the women's basketball game, LSU versus Iowa. So I just thought it was crazy, all the big scoring games and stuff in the NBA that have happened this season. Now that stuff like dropping 60 in a game is just like, okay, so he did it too. Like it's not even a big feat now, I feel like, but oh yay! What up, dude? Matt Jr. in the house. Let's go. But
Say
yeah, man,
hey.
I think that,
He
with
wasn't gonna have it.
the,
No, no,
the NBA and stuff, man, it's gonna be super fun once we get to, dive into all that too. So
let
I'm
me.
excited to be a part of the network and all the shows and stuff like that, man.
Can you let Uncle Matt talk? He's on a podcast right now. So
He said no. He said I have something to tell you guys. And I'm gonna say it.
I got something I gotta say, and I gotta say it right now, fellas. But yeah, so
Yeah, man, I'm
crazy,
excited
man.
for it.
definitely excited,
Excited for you,
man.
man.
It's we're growing. Like I said, we're picking up sponsors. We're eventually gonna start doing live shows. I'm working on doing that. And then, guys, we have a huge team of co-hosts. So if, for say, Maddox or Massey or myself can't make it, we have people who will be filling in throughout the regular season when we go back to doing weekly episodes. We got my sister who's going to be coming in and helping. We got my nephew. We got a bunch of co-hosts. Like I said, we're a big family. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to get it rolling right. But with that being said, guys, we got one more topic to talk about, and that's these rule changes. A lot of players are pretty frustrated over it. but I don't blame them. So let's kind of hop into that real fast.
You gotta dig that draft out too.
Yeah, we'll get into the draft for sure. So let's actually talk about the draft first. So, guys,
All right.
that yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
all about
Sounds
that.
good.
So
Sounds good.
good
No, you're good,
catch,
man.
good catch.
That's what
You're good,
teamwork.
man. No,
So
you're good. Titans in the draft, guys. They got round one, pick number 7. Round two, they're gonna have pick number 38. No third round pick this year. And then round four, pick 106. Round five is pick 146. Round six, 182. Round seven, they have 3 picks at 227, 242, and 252. So I'll let Gary take it and go ahead and chop it up from there. No, I'm just kidding. I got you, bro. I got you.
no, all right,
So
I'm back. I'm
first
back,
round pick,
fellas. I'm
man.
back. all right, so
Go
guys,
ahead,
we're
man.
gonna
First
we're
round
gonna
pick.
cover. We're gonna go over the first 2 rounds real quick. We're gonna give our thoughts and our opinions on who we think the Titans should take. Where we think it's gonna go, whether we think it's a trade. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna talk about the first 2 rounds. Of course, like Maddox says, we don't have a third round this year, but we do have a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and I think 3 sevens. Is that
Yeah,
what he
three
said?
sevens.
3 sevens.
Yeah.
So going into the first round pick, do you think that the Titans should take a wide receiver, a offensive lineman, or a safety? Where do you think they should go? And we'll
I'm
go
gonna go.
Massey.
I'm gonna go with offensive linemen. I think they need to complement the center we just picked up, and then obviously an offensive lineman. I know he's a rookie. We got Peter Skronsky coming back for a second year. Um, you're gonna have to put new pieces in the offensive line anyways. So why not go ahead and start with the player that you're drafting that you know is going to be here for a couple of seasons. So I'm gonna say offensive line and Joe Alt would probably be a good pick or just any good, top tier offensive line that's in the draft. What about you, Blue? Who do you think?
Yeah, I like Alt. I think Alt's a no-brainer if he's available at 7. Um, if Alt's not, if Harrison Jr. is available at 7, then I think it becomes, BPA and you have to pick best player available at that point. But
Yeah,
if it pans out and, Marvin Harrison goes, top 4, like I think he probably will, I think there's more of a likelihood of JJ McCarthy sitting past 7 than Marvin Harrison Jr. But I think Joe Alt's the obvious pick at number 1. I know there's some hype around Brock Bowers, which I'm not against Brock Bowers either. I think Brock Bowers is an incredible tight end. He can block. I'm not taking that from him either. I know that he's a good blocker. But I think that you just have to kind of, we've said this before, put some insurance on the Lamborghini,
Talk about it.
and,
Talk
kind of
about it.
protect Will Levis, man. Uh, and Joe Alt is just a freak of nature, man. I mean, that guy
Facts,
is.
bro.
I mean,
Facts.
he's huge, man, and he's really productive at his position. Like he's super highly productive. It a day one starter that you can give to Bill Callahan to kind of work with Peter Skronsky and Cushionberry. You can give me the guy that's a Titans cheerleader and another scrub off the street to play left guard and right guard. We'll be fine, bro. Like I feel like that's just too big of a piece to pass up on in Joe Alt.
Yeah.
It's literally in his last name. We need a left tackle in his a left tackle. I mean,
that's so true.
Facts, man. Yeah, so for me, I have to go Joe. If Joe Alt's there, I'm taking Joe Alt number 1, like hands down. We have to have that. I think that's a no-brainer, just like Maddox and Massey was saying. Now if Alt gets taken before we can get him, and the tight end, what was his name again?
yeah, Brock
Riley.
Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Oh,
If if Joe Alt gets taken before, I think I would maybe lean into Bowers, because I think that would also be another dynamic piece. But and then address the offensive line in second round. But if Joe Alt's there, you have to hands down take him. Like I said earlier, you got to build the offensive line from the center out, and they got the best center in the National Football League. they paid him really good. So I mean, we got a good center now. Let's build it out. Let's put in some really good solid pieces. You know, and Joe Alt is one of those solid pieces. You know,
Who do you think right now, and like out of the, all 32 teams, Titans included, who right now is most likely to trade up in the draft?
mm,
And I'll start you guys. I think Jacksonville right now. I think the
Jackson. Yeah,
signing of Stephon Diggs, I think that puts a need in that wide receiver room with Gabe Davis being your number one wide receiver. I don't think Gabe Davis is a number one. Great number two. Great number two because he has to have something to get him open and to be productive, I feel like, and beat Gabe Davis at that level. But I think Jacksonville, man, could trade up and try to grab, Malik Neighbors or something like that if they get the opportunity
yeah.
to.
I'd
It's
say
a really good question.
I'd say also keep an eye out for some of the better teams like Kansas City or something like that. They could make a
I
move
was gonna say
to
maybe
jump.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
I feel like,
Doesn't Minnesota need a quarterback now or something?
I
yeah, I think they have a good draft pick though
yeah.
right now.
Oh, oh okay.
Yeah, Minnesota. But Kansas City, I think Kansas City, and I know Lee's not on the show right now, but shout out to Lee and what he said. He said he thinks the Titans pick Xavier Worthy
Wide
with pick
receiver
number
from
7.
Texas. Yeah,
I think that's who the Chiefs get.
yeah,
That replaces that need for, that
Mm-hmm.
speedy wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes that kind of tries to, implement that Tyreek Hill type play back onto the Chiefs,
Right,
yeah,
system. So I think
right.
Xavier Worthy at 32 for the Chiefs would be a pretty good lock. I don't know if the Chiefs have to move for him. I feel like if they feel that pressure, like somebody else is going to grab him, they might try to trade up. So that could be another one, like you said, to watch the Chiefs.
yeah, yeah.
Yep,
And
for
then
sure.
let's go to round two. You know, once again, shout out to Lee and the 615 podcast. He's not on here right now. He's preparing to do some really big shows, so I want to give a huge shout out to him. But his second
Let's
round
go, Lee.
pick was Jordan Morgan, tackle Arizona. What is your thoughts on that, guys? Because I'll be honest with y'all, I don't know that person. I don't know him. I hadn't seen any highlights from him. He could be good.
I
He
don't.
could be one of those players that just needs a little development and then be phenomenal. I don't know. So, what's y'all's thoughts on his idea for taking a tackle in the second round?
I don't know if the tackle would be the right thing to go after in the second round, in my opinion. Given the pieces that we've already added, and then also being able to have, I think it's what, two picks in the fourth, and then three in the seventh. So I mean, I feel like those could be the better options for a tackle pick. But again, like Gary just said, I don't know much about the player that he just picked. But I can say I did dive into a little bit on who I would consider picking for a second round pick for the Titans, and that's Dallas Turner. He's a linebacker slash edge rusher for Alabama. I feel like he would absolutely complement Simmons and Joseph Day on the defensive line. And obviously, you have that secondary, like we were talking about earlier. If we go in free agency and get a pretty good safety, our defense is going to be something crazy right there. So I think Dallas Turner would be a great second pick. Guys, what's y'all's opinion on that? And Blue, who do you think?
I like the direction of it, like kind of where you're going with like, Dallas Turner and like the positioning and trying to fill that spot. I don't think Dallas Turner will be available in the second round. I think that's a high commodity. Uh, that's somebody that you can honestly say that the Titans could pick with the first overall, that seventh overall pick, if you wanted to, in Dallas Turner. For me, Tavondre Sweat from Texas, defensive tackle. That's gonna be my guy in the second round. I feel like put him with Simmons. That gives you, I feel like, another elite pass rush, and Simmons can coach these guys up. Simmons has been remarkable throughout his whole career.
Talk about it, bro.
So
Talk about it.
I think Sweat's the move it in that second round. I think Sweat is just he kind of fills that need. He fits that player profile physically and productively on the field. So I like the direction of going defensive tackle. I just don't think that Dallas Turner will be available in the second round. If he is, when we come to pick, please, by all means,
Yeah, you
go
make
right ahead,
that's a
man.
really
But
good point. I didn't necessarily put
Yeah.
that into perspective of him not really being on the board in the second. But like you said, bro, if he is, y'all better go get him.
anything can happen, though, bro.
Yep.
Malik Willis was supposed to
Right.
be the number 1 overall pick in his draft. Like Malik Willis, he was
Yeah.
supposed to be drafted number 1 overall. He was projected at
Jameis
that.
Winston
The
was drafted at number one overall many years ago. Look at that.
Yeah, and Mariota went too. These guys can
Yeah.
go in different places. Now,
Exactly.
the only
Exactly.
reason I
Exactly.
think Dallas Turner will go in the first round is because of the success of the Texans last year
Yep.
Hmm.
in their draft picks. That's why I think Dallas
Right.
Turner is the
Right.
first rounder this year. He's going to improve
Yeah.
somebody's defense dramatically, instantly a day one starter for whoever he goes to. So I'm thinking somewhere, along the lines of like San Francisco or something like that for him falling late into the first round, back there in those draft picks back there somewhere. Because they just lost Armstead, he signed with the Jaguars, so they need a piece to kind of replace that and kind of fill in that hole. So I
Yeah.
think Turner has a more likelihood of going somewhere like San Francisco or a Baltimore or somewhere like that that has a later round draft pick in the first, but not into the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, guys, first of all, I have to agree with both of y'all. Y'all both have some really good takes on that second round. But there's been, chatter amongst the fan base. I don't see the Titans making a trade. I think they stick with what they got and pick. But let's indulge for a minute because we're gonna cover everybody's perspective here. So if the Titans were to trade out of the first round or trade out of the second round, what kind of trade are you looking for? Do you think that there could be like an offensive lineman that's actually in the league or something that the Titans would say, all right, well, we'll give up a second round draft pick this year and make a trade for a veteran player, um, do you think something like that can happen, or what kind of trade do y'all believe would happen if the Titans were to make a trade?
Mm. I think it has to be something. It's going to be a player pick package. I feel like
I
if it
agree.
happens, and I don't feel like it happens before the draft.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't think anything
Yeah. I'd
happens
have to
before the
agree.
draft. I think the honestly, I think Malik Willis is gone. I don't know that he makes the final cut. Maybe he stays on the practice squad or whatever. But I don't think that you keep Willis around coming in and bringing in Rudolph. Rudolph has some veteran experience in Pittsburgh. He didn't play bad last year in the games that he played in. So he kind of gave them a little bit of hope there towards the end of the season. And he's not threatening to Will Levis either. If you keep Malik Willis, it kind of has that question mark like, well, like you have to develop, Will Levis. You can't develop two guys at one time. So you have to kind of pick and choose there. And obviously, Levis is the more productive guy, and just in my opinion. But
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I think if if he makes the roster because of that, quarterback rule last year, he's definitely going to be the third string, the emergency quarterback. Um, I think if there's
I think that's one of
anybody,
your trade options, though,
yeah,
as a player.
it could be,
Burks,
yes,
Burks, NWI, you just signed him to a 1 year deal that's cheap.
yeah,
And he's shown that he can be productive at times, in the offense. Not a true, I would say, 2 or 3, maybe not even a true 4, but a good option to have, in late game situations and
yeah,
with, dealing with season injuries in a long season. So NWI could be another trade factor for me. So either Willis, Burks, or NWI,
yeah,
I feel like could be traded off and maybe get into that third round, get a third round pick, maybe package up maybe our fifth round pick with, one of those players and get a third round pick for this year. Could be something that we could see happen.
yeah, definitely. And
Definitely.
I say this, if we don't make a trade and we stick with, Burks, NWI, and Willis, I think this for all three of those players, this will be a prove it year, you know, because you got and especially Malik Willis, you got one of the best quarterback, you know, head coaches that you can ask for, from the likes of Peyton Manning to Drew Brees, was it? No, not Drew Brees, but
Philip
Derek Carr.
Rivers.
Matthew Stafford. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All over the place.
I mean,
Philip Rivers.
he helped develop a lot of great quarterbacks in the football league, you know. And so I think
Yeah.
if he has a bad year and he can't progress, you know, and he stays at that level that he was last year, you know, then I think honestly Malik Willis' career could be done. You know, and I hate saying that, but you know, you got one of the best quarterback coaches. You have the best opportunity to prove something. You know what I'm saying? So if he can't go out there and he can't compete with Mason Rudolph or you know, we all know that he's not going to take the job from Will Levis. You know, Will Levis solidified his start
Will
at, you know,
Levis
his
took the
spot.
job from Malik Willis.
Yeah. So, but to be a backup quarterback, I think he has the potential. But if Brian Callahan can't develop him, then guys, I don't think there's anybody in the league who would be able to. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't think you need to
Nashville Cat.
develop Will too
Who?
much. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I
said send
think
him
you
to the
let him.
Nashville Cats. Let him go play arena
No,
football, bro. For
Arena
real.
no,
football.
I've been
Hey, I mean, what
I've
was
been
the?
saying it for a while now, man. Like with Malik specifically, it just I didn't see it like from the beginning. I probably didn't give him enough time, like to even have the opinions that I had, but it was just like the way I felt and what I seen on the field. But at the same time, man, I've been saying it for a while now that like I thought at best maybe Malik was a second string NFL quarterback. I might even go like you just said, Gary, a third string emergency quarterback at best
Yeah,
in the NFL. Now, bro, you can go back to probably a lot of different colleges or whatever, or you can go to like an XFL league or something like that and go ball out that and have your
facts.
type of quarterback playing football. But it's just not it for him in the NFL, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, hey, you made a great run. You made the NFL, so that alone's an
Well, see,
achievement.
in
You know what I'm
my
saying?
System.
opinion, and this is nothing against Mike Vrabel, but in my opinion, Vrabel did not have a record of producing good quarterbacks. Let's be honest. We traded for
Mobile
Tannehill.
quarterbacks.
Do what?
Mobile
Yeah.
quarterbacks. Look at mobile
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
Talk about it, bro. Talk about it. Go ahead.
Mobile quarterbacks. He had no. Let's be real about Vrabel and his coaching staff,
Talk
man.
about it.
It wasn't even all Vrabel. I'm not even gonna put it all on Vrabel. It was a lot of his coaching staff and his dumbass friends that didn't know how to do their damn job that made him look fucking stupid, man. Let's be real
Todd
about it.
Talk
Dowdy.
Because
about
the
it.
whole time that we're sitting here drafting people like Isaiah Wilson and shit like that, bro, none of these guys panned out and developed, bro. We went out and got Corey Davis and Adoree Jackson. We had 2 first-round picks and wasted them pretty much. Because where's Corey Davis and Adoree Jackson? They're not here, bro. Did they help us get anywhere? No, not necessarily. Yeah, Corey Davis was a fundamental piece when we had AJ Brown, but that was because we had AJ Brown and Derrick Henry at the same
Facts,
time.
man.
So a lot of this stuff goes on to development, bro, of the players and giving these guys actual like productive schemes that they could be a part of. The scheme wasn't molded around Malik Willis when Malik Willis was drafted, and we had to play Malik Willis, and we were trying to figure out, all right, well, Will Levis, Tannehill, Malik, who are we going to play? There was never a system drawn up for Malik Willis. It was
Yep.
always just this pocket presence, like Tannehill played, and Will Levis kind of has that same presence in the pocket.
Yeah.
He also is mobile with his feet. He can take off and run, but it's more of a
Facts.
Josh Allen type game when he runs the ball. It's not like a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or like Malik Willis tries to play the game and like he did in college. A lot of his stuff is rolling out and stuff like that. So maybe in a different system, yeah, Malik Willis could be your guy, but you have to build around him, and that's what we're doing now around Will Levis. That's why I think that
Yep.
if anybody, like Gary said, Brian Callahan might be able to develop Will Levis into a fundamental valuable backup in the league for the
Malik
Titans,
Willis.
but
Yeah.
you have to build some. Yeah, Malik Willis, my bad. You have to build some type of system to when that guy comes in on the field. It's different. When Lamar Jackson's playing on the field, if his backup comes in and his backup was Ryan Tennant, that would not be the same look
It
offense
wouldn't,
at all.
and that offense would
You know,
be
you,
it would be
you would have
just
to you'd have to change it
yeah.
to the player. And we never did that for Malik. So I feel like a lot of that like hurt him and was detrimental. You didn't have the key pieces on like the line and stuff like that.
Yep.
Receivers constantly being injured. I'm all for him, getting his, spot somewhere in the NFL and doing his thing, or XFL, wherever he does his thing
Yeah.
at. That's super cool, man. Go do it. But I don't think that it has ever been the scheme or the place here for him in Tennessee, and that's why you've seen his career go the way that it has.
I mean, and a
Yep.
lot of people coming when he came out of the draft compared him, and I'm guilty of this too. But he had a lot of flashes that you could say Patrick Mahomes. You could even say Steve McNair sometimes. He had those flashes, but when push came to shove, he wasn't ready. He came from an offense that was literally, I would consider a high school scheme type thing. It was a two reads every play, you know, and
In my
now you're
opinion,
into the
I feel like he
NFL.
went from
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, pretty basically probably what you was just about to say. In my opinion, he went from trying to be a quarterback for college straight into being a quarterback to the NFL when he still needed a couple more years in a
Yeah,
college
and
system
he
to be
just
able to
needs to
have
be
experience.
developed, and that's it. If you get
Right.
somebody in here who can develop him, he could have the potential to be, a backup, maybe even a starter. I mean, we don't know what he's capable of because we haven't been able to develop him in a scheme that fits his type of play. If this was
Right.
the 2000 Titans, I think, yeah, you have a huge chance of developing him like a Vince Young, played behind Steve McNair, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just when
I
we
mean,
had Ryan
he's
Tan,
just bad in some areas. He is just really bad in some like there's
yeah,
things that like in year two, like by now he should already know
already
that
know
he doesn't
exactly.
know. So like if he
Right.
doesn't now, like I don't know that there is a catching on to that. I don't and like you said, I don't know if he can be developed into a backup, but that I think it now at this point in his career right now and where he sits on the Titans roster, that's his best case scenario is backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a prove it year for him, and not just him. Traylon Burks as well. We got Calvin Ridley, you got D Hop. You know, this is Traylon Burks' time to either shine or just we'll find out what he's worth. Like
I
is
feel
he
like
gonna
we
be
can
able
say
to?
the same about Chig.
Yeah, Chig's the same way, man. I agree.
Chig's in the same boat.
Yeah. So you want to talk
He's
about
either
Chig
got to
for a
get it
second?
together. Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like Chig is in the same exact boat as like you were just saying with Traylon, man. They have to have if not like a super awesome breakout year, at least have a breakout year. Don't have to be super awesome. Just make it enough to where a team, whether it's the Titans wanting to keep you or it's another team looking around in the NFL, because we know the NFL is a business and that's how it goes. Other teams are always watching other players on other teams. It's always going to be like that
Yeah, facts.
for the market purpose of the NFL. So if Chig somehow can turn his numbers around, so he had a decent rookie year in my opinion, not great, not
Yeah.
super great or whatever, but a decent one.
Had a
And then
sophomore slumps
year
in his
two,
second year.
yeah, year two and year three was not all that great. You know what I mean? I believe, right? That was
No,
his
this
first
is his
season with
third
us.
year. This is his third year.
So this will be his
Yeah,
third.
last
Yeah,
the last season.
he had a sophomore slump.
Yeah, he had a sophomore
Oh, okay.
slump last year.
I thought he
So,
had two bad seasons.
so
Okay, so
this
anyways, yeah.
He played
So
with
one
three
not so
different
good season.
quarterbacks too. He
facts,
Yeah.
played
bro.
with three different quarterbacks last
Facts.
year too. So
Yeah, I get that, but like if the ball hits your hands, bro, you got to catch it, in my
Yeah,
opinion. But going back to what I'm saying though, I feel like whether you have a consistent quarterback all season or not, I feel like one way or another for Chig, he's going to have to find a way to get his numbers up to be able to be a contending tight end in the NFL with the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? I hope he does it. Obviously, I love Chig. That
who's
one
the
that one first play against the Chiefs where he caught it and it just looked like he was going down and then he went for like 50 yards down the field. That was insane to me. Like I became like the hugest Chig fan ever, and I believe that was his rookie year, or it may have been last
who
season. I don't remember.
who was the Bengals tight end?
Uh,
Okay, so don't draft Brock Bowers is my point because in the Callahan offense in this system, I don't think a tight end's going to be the piece that's
yeah, because you're gonna have the two
utilized that
running
much. Like
backs
I feel
that you're
like
gonna
Brock Bowers would
utilize.
go to waste. I feel like
Exactly.
I
yeah,
feel like he would just go to waste
not
to me.
only that, we
So
just got Josh Wiley last year.
Right, and Chig is in his third year, so I feel like you still have to
Right.
develop him out of his rookie
Yes.
contract and see if there's an extension there,
Yeah.
if you want to keep moving forward with that. And then you go
Yeah.
into still you're developing Josh Wiley as well
Yeah.
behind Chig, so you have him for that extra year as well. So if you don't
Facts.
pick up the option on Chig after Chig's rookie contract expires, then go get another
Talk
tight end
about
because then you'll have
Talk about
Wiley
it.
in his last year. But
it.
like I said, man, I can't tell you who the Bengals tight end was. I
I
can't even tell
can't
you who the
either.
Bengals tight end was the year that they went to the Super Bowl. I don't know. But that's because he wasn't
Yeah.
that big of a factor in that off. Like he's not utilized like that. That's not Brian Callahan's thing. Is
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
feel like that's going to be that
Because
big of a
he
piece.
has a
I feel like
very
Chig
It's a
can be
good
more
point.
productive.
he has a very
It's a really good point.
dynamic, passing scheme to wide receivers and running backs. And, if you look at how we attacked free agency, you can tell that that's the goal for the direct, excuse me, the direction that this offense is going. Like I said, this is a new era, guys. The title, new era of Titans football. And the reason is we're going from a run dominant, quarterback in the pocket type scheme play action to a very dynamic passing game. And I think, we actually finally got the right pieces, in the coaching staff to players to be able to make that change. In years past when the Titans have tried to shift from that narrative of being a run dominant team, we made a mock of it, whether the coaches,
Yeah.
were just trash or the players we had were trash. Now we actually have good coaching, and now we actually have good players. So I think we'll be able to make that shift properly this time. So I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be awesome.
Same.
Regardless of what happens.
Better now than next year. That's
Exactly.
why I think a lot of the moves made were so necessary. As far as cleaning out this coaching staff that everybody was under last year, getting something new in here.
Yeah.
It kind of rips the band-aid off. Like I know Will Levis. You want to keep that rookie quarterback with the same coach, and you don't want to change the coaching staff and all that's bad for his development. But I think year one, rip the band-aid off. Go ahead and do it now, and then in this first year with this new coaching staff, let him understand, hey, we're building this around you. We want you to be productive and be successful, so that's the direction that we're heading. And I think Will Levis understands that with the hires that have been made, and getting that offensive line coach in there with Bill Callahan, bringing in Cushenberry, and the draft talk about Joe Alt, getting him some more weapons out
Yeah.
there. Sorry, dude, but like everybody said it when Tannehill was playing when we didn't have D Hop. Who the fuck is he supposed to throw to? Well, who the fuck else was Will Levis supposed
Levis,
to throw
yeah,
to last
and
year?
and you can
You
even say
Yeah.
know,
that for Malik Willis as well. I mean, you know, who was he supposed to?
yeah. Who the fuck
Who
were
are
these
they
guys
gonna
supposed to
throw the
throw
ball
to?
Yeah.
to? You traded away AJ Brown, which was probably the biggest mistake in franchise history by the Titans, in my opinion.
Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue.
Eddie George.
Bite your tongue on that one. I was upset with the AJ
Eddie.
Brown trade at first because of what we got, but now seeing how things have panned out with them guys, I mean, whatever, bro. Like, sayonara, I guess,
Yeah,
dude. Like, things are not different there. You are not a winner now. You are out of the
Yeah.
playoffs.
yeah.
You completely folded in the season after like
Well,
I feel like he's a lot of drama now.
I agree.
It
I
is.
agree. Well, guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and shift into our final topic here. But before we do, guys, I want to also remind you to if you're not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications to get the latest from What's Shaking Titans. Give us a big old like, that will help us out with the YouTube algorithm. And then, guys, also go over to Sport Nation Nashville, check them out, give them a like, subscribe to their channel. That will help them out with their algorithm as well. Want to give a huge shout out to Bailey's Barbecue, who powers What's Shaking Titans. That is my personal business. I do barbecuing. So guys, if you're ever interested in some barbecue or you want some catering done, hit me up on Facebook at Bailey's Barbecue. We'll get in touch and we'll get something going. And then guys, if you are using Temu, use code TAN83620 and you'll get 30% off site wide. If you're new to Temu, click the link in the description below and you'll receive a $100 coupon bundle for signing up. And then, guys, if you're hungry, you know, what better place to go than Luke's Breakfast and Burgers, located in Dixon, Tennessee at 255 Dixon Plaza Drive, Dixon, Tennessee 37055. One of the best burger joints in Tennessee. Great food, great service. Check us out. Come get you a heart attack burger. It's a challenge. If you can finish that burger in 30 minutes, like I said, you get a shirt, you get a gift card. It's really awesome. Their food is great. So definitely go check them out. You can
Get
also
to meet
follow
Gary.
them. Yeah, you'll get to meet me. I'll cook your food for you.
Yeah.
Follow Luke's Breakfast and Burger on Facebook at Luke's Breakfast and Burger. And then, guys, with that being said, let's get into the new trade deadline. Moved from after week 8 to after week 9. Of course, that happened because we extended the season. We put an extra game in. I think that's
Again?
something. I think that's something they should have done
No, no,
sooner.
no.
Okay.
No. So
Same length as the extension, but
Okay.
the
I was
rules
like,
just
damn.
now
I was like,
implemented this
19
season.
we'll
games
see.
now.
We'll see when it
No.
was 16 games. They had it at week 8. Well, now there's 17
Yeah.
games in a season,
Yeah.
and it was at week 8. But now they've extended that to week 9, so that gives you an extra week to make those trades. I think that move
And a
should have
halfway
already.
point.
Yeah, I think it should have already been implemented. But regardless, it's implemented now. I think it's awesome. But guys, that's not what y'all want to hear. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about some major changes in the NFL and rule changes. So let's start with the hip tackle. The wrap up rolling, whatever you want to call it, the hip tackle.
Hip drop.
Hip drop. It is now banned. You cannot do that. A lot of defensive players are pretty frustrated over that. Corners, safeties. What's your thoughts on this new rule change? Do you think it's going to make for better football, or do you think that it's going to make it harder for defenses to be able to shine? And we'll shoot it to Massey first.
You get, you gotta. I put it into consideration of the veteran players that have been playing a certain way, defensive players, the veteran defensive players that have been playing and been taught to play, been coached to play a certain specific way their whole career, not just the NFL, college, high school, pee-wees. You're all coached the same way to tackle, right? And that is one of those tackles is a hip tackle. So I feel like this rule is going to be very controversial in an NFL league that was already controversial with referees and things like that, missed calls, bad calls, whatever you want to call it. I hope I'm wrong on that, but it's already a controversial organization or establishment or whatever you want, association, whatever you want to call it, league. But I feel like it's just going to make things more complicated. Every time one of those flags get thrown, it's going to be one of those things like most Titans fans do, or most probably any football fan does when flags are thrown. Oh, that's bull crap. That wasn't holding, or that's bull crap. That wasn't pass interference, or blah, blah, blah. That wasn't this, that wasn't that. And now we got to be like, oh, that's bull crap. That wasn't a hip tackle. Like what? Like, what are you supposed to do with that? So, in my opinion, I feel like
Talk about it.
it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be really bad for the NFL, and it's going to be controversial, and the fans are definitely going to have a lot to say about it as it goes on. So, Blue, what do you think about it, man?
Yeah, it all translates into like the way that the league is going now. Um, and with like other, like rule changes and stuff like that. So like just having like the hip drop tackle. Okay, so hip drop tackle, like it's gonna be a penalty now. You can't, let's say, like, go back to the Super Bowl, the Rams and the Titans. That's a hip drop tackle. The 1 yard, line play. That's a hip drop tackle. Well, so with that being illegal now, I feel like it opens up the league to be more explosive, and generate a lot more offense, a lot more points and stuff like that. You get beat over the top. I mean, you're pretty much beat at the end of it. I mean, you can't really, there's a horse collar tackle, like, that you get called on you, like, you go too high, then you're, on the face mask, or, you go too low, then it's a hip drop tackle. So I feel like it's going to generate a lot more points and a lot more offense. I know that the hip drop tackle is something that is dangerous, and has caused, injuries in the past in the league, and even last season, and stuff like that. So I feel like it is, it's bad for football, in my opinion, but it's also good for football, in my opinion. It's going to make it more explosive. It's going to make football more fun to watch, but at the same time, it's going to tone down on the defensive side of things, and it's going to, create a lot more prolific offenses that, are able to go out and score 30 points per game, put up, a 50 piece in a game, whatever it may be. Just, implementing those rules. I did read that it's not going to be like heavy implemented on that, hip drop tackle rule. I know that that's not going to be like a huge thing that they're going to like try to, call a lot, but they are going to try to, work that in, that being the first season that the rule is implemented. I'm sure that that'll, be part of that. And like with, the trade deadline rule that we were just talking about, um, that helps teams, now like a lot of this is to help, I feel like, football stay exciting later into the year, and giving teams, that are out of the playoffs that may have a superstar, like Titans out of the playoffs last year. Somebody might want to trade for, DeAndre Hopkins and, use him, later in the season, that was already in the playoffs, and that's an option now, I feel like maybe, moving it back to maybe week 10 would be a better deal than week 9, give him, that extra,
Extra time.
extra week, moving in towards the playoffs with it being a 17 game season now. I feel like that could be something that, maybe they, move towards, but it's all headed in that direction. And I feel like everything is just to make the league more explosive, including, we have a new kickoff rule this year. It's going to be a lot like the XFL. It's that same, kind of format and prompt like they do there. So basically, the kicker will kick off. I think the kicking team stands on the 45. The kicker will stand where he normally stands, I think at the 30. And then on the other side of the, I guess, 50 will be the receiving team, and then you'll have a returner back in the returning zone. Nobody can move until the returner touches the ball, apparently. So once he cleanly, feels the ball on that, I'm assuming that that's when you can take off and go and hit them. I haven't exactly looked all that much into it, but yeah, so new kickoff, man.
So
I feel like
basically,
that's going to generate a lot.
you got to block like you're an offensive line on the kickoffs now because you should be having to block that whole time until the receiver gets the ball, I guess, and then you got to block after he gets the ball. So that's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
like if you watch the XFL, like and some of those, kickoff returns, bro, like they're explosive, like they're fast, like those guys are like super quick. Like a guy like Xavier Worthy, like that, like we've mentioned, like coming out of the draft, like he was like 4'2", 40. Like that could be a guy that you have on your kickoff on your special teams that this
Yeah,
rule is going to cater to because he's so explosive, he's so quick that by the time you're able to actually, you can't start. There's no head start running and gaining momentum going down the field or anything like that now. So it's gonna make
Oh,
offenses and special teams a lot more explosive and a lot more points.
yeah, I
yeah,
think so too.
man, I have to agree. Sorry about that, guys. I had to step away, take care of my daughter for a second. She was crying. But
How
yeah, I
dare
have
you
to
be a
agree.
daddy?
Yeah, I have to agree, man. This new kickoff rule is very interesting. I think it's gonna allow for more, you know, kickoff touchdowns. I mean, returns. What's your thoughts? Do you think we'll see more returns for touchdowns this year, or do you think we'll see less?
Probably more. I mean, I feel like more because of the way the format's going to be set out for him now. Basically just the way Blue just explained it is it absolutely seems like the person running the ball back, the receiver, is going to have more holes or more opportunities or more length on the field at the time of receiving the ball versus sometimes when you catch the ball on a kickoff or whatever it is, they're like 5, 10 yards from you. Now they have to
Like
be like
fly on the
whatever it
wall,
is,
bro.
a 20.
Like literally a fly on the wall. Like you get to see like things break down and progress like
Yeah,
in front of you. Like
yeah, and then decide where you're gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
I think
yeah,
I think it'll be cool. Le'Veon
yes.
Bell would have done great with this type of format. I mean, he'd have been an awesome returner,
Ooh,
dude. Like
feel
talk
like
about
Chris
wait and
Johnson
pick
would
a
have done
hole,
good with
dude.
it.
He he had the most patience I've ever seen anybody have before in my
Yeah,
life, bro. Bell had
that's
like
facts.
but like he smoked weed too before games, so like he was super stoned. He was probably just like, "Oh crap, gotta go."
I'm
Stoned
supposed to be
out.
running right now.
Tell me, tell me,
That's
so.
funny. I feel like Chris Johnson would have been a good returner with this rule.
Yeah, with his speed, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I used to put Chris Johnson back there to kick return on Madden all the time,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
Like,
me
right.
oh,
too.
God,
Oh yeah,
I'm out of
that's
here,
a
bro.
cheat code.
Have
That's
like
a
a
cheat code. You talking about the fastest player on the team? Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
99
game, I
speed,
think.
bro, gone.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gone.
I got off topic. I got
Yeah.
off topic, but was still on topic, so it's okay.
Yeah, right. Hey, while I have a second though, just to touch on it earlier, I don't know why it's been stuck in my head, but with the chick conversation, you had stepped away for a second, Blue, and basically what me and Gary we were talking about how it needed to be like a kind of breakout season for him to be able to like develop further on as an NFL career. It wasn't necessarily about like replacing him or anything. We're wanting him, or I am. I don't know about Gary, but I'm definitely wanting them to be a longevity part of the team, like get better consistently, have more catches and things like that. But you did make a great point as far as how many different quarterbacks and things like that he's had to play with as a rookie, then into a sophomore year. Sophomore year, there was some bad missed catches and things like that, some bad throws that he could have caught, but like wasn't necessarily on him. But our that conversation was more so of like he don't need to have a breakout year to be like stay on the team. He just needs to have like a decent year to be able to be a good potential tight end in the NFL, whether it's with the Titans or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's my only argument against like the drafting Brock Bowers. I know like we both heard people
Yeah.
say that, and like I just feel like you have to finish developing this guy. Like, uh, the excuses for last year was crappy offensive line. There's no time to get open. You're having to block a lot more as the tight end with that bad offensive line because you're having to help out on that type of system and stuff like that and get Will Levis protection. Rookie quarterback throwing to you. We know that there was some passes where Will Levis maybe put too much on it, just kind of overthrew a guy, was a bad throw, bad area, or just put it behind the guy simply. So I think there's a lot of things to still work with Chig, and that's the only thing that I was saying. Like, don't draft Brock Bowers. I feel like that would just be a
Yeah.
waste of your pick. Honestly, like it's like adding your attribute upgrades, bro. We both play 2K. It's like
Yeah. And
does that
I mean,
+1 on your 3-point shot really matter, or would you rather
yeah.
add 5 to your steal? Like, bro, like come like what are
Yeah.
you gonna do, bro? Like,
And also, like we talked about earlier, bro, not to mention, like, Chick still has a lot of potential, but so does Josh Wiley. He's just now going to be entering his second year. So, like, I feel like if you can get Chig going to where the potential and the potential he showed in year one, yeah, he had a little slump in year two, but he still has another opportunity for year three. If for some reason, or if you can use them both, even at that, as far as that goes, if you're developing Josh Wiley to become the same potential that Chig is, or if Chig is slowly progressing, or whatever it is, or if for some reason it don't work out with Chig, then all right, now you focus your main attention on developing Josh Wiley. He has the height, he has the strength. All he needs is the progression behind him and the coaching behind him. So yeah, I
man,
agree with you. It would be crazy to draft a tight end. I thought it was crazy to draft Malik when we got him. And then the next season we went and got Will Levis. But I'll tell you what, I'm so thankful that's the way it went. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I could not be more glad that it went that way. But in the moment, I was just like, we just get another
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback 2 drafts in a row.
just imagine if we had what was his name? Woody, right? He was the backup to
When you're
Tannehill. Yeah, is that
Woodside,
Woodside?
Logan
Yeah.
Woodside. That's my
that's
favorite quarterback
Massey's.
ever.
Hey, that's
That's my
Massey's
favorite quarterback
favorite
ever.
player ever, bro. Logan Woodside, dude, that is
Logan
Massey's
Woodside,
guy,
bro.
bro.
That comeback
That's
drive
is
in that
that is that your
preseason game, bro. Get out of here.
is that your Peyton Manning
Hey,
of the Titans?
I know what you're getting for Christmas, bro. You're
No,
getting a Logan
that's my
Woodside
Tom Brady.
Titans jersey, bro. You're
No,
getting a Logan Woodside jersey, bro.
that comeback drive in that preseason game, boy, get out of here.
Get
And then
out
we
of
let
here.
him
Oh yeah,
go
that
at the beginning of
preseason
the
game,
season.
bro. That one time in
Yeah.
preseason.
That one
No,
time.
Logan Woodside's my guy, man. I don't know where he's at now. He's probably playing golf for like a mini league or whatever, but like shout out Logan Woodside.
Selling used cars. Welcome to Woodside Toyota. No.
That's funny.
Welcome to Massey and Woodside's Toyota pickup trucks.
His biggest fan.
But yeah, guys, I mean, y'all hit the nail on the
Malik
head.
Willis will probably be doing somebody's taxes.
Mobley.
He's the office
He
worker at
Josh
Mobley
the.
Dobbs is,
Desert.
Josh Dobbs is gonna go work for Elon Musk. Just
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I'm
I'd
so
go
glad
work
to
for
be
NASA.
back on
If
the
I was
show,
as smart
man.
as Josh Dobbs, bro, there's no way that I'd be in the NFL right now. I'm gonna work for NASA. I'm gonna fit out to build my own rocket ship, bro. I'm getting out of here,
Yeah.
though.
Right?
Like
I mean,
I'm gonna have rocket ship in my
facts, bro. If
backyard,
you're,
bro.
yeah, I'm just saying, dude. Like, he gonna end up getting concussed, and then he's gonna build a rocket, and that he's gonna forget something, and he's gonna take off, and it's gonna.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as Josh Dobbs builds the rocket, Tannehill has his pilot's license, so Tannehill can fly the rocket.
Straight
There
into
you
the
go.
hole, straight into the hole, right beside
Yeah,
Nissan Stadium.
straight into the manhole outside of Nissan Stadium. It'll go like one
Bro,
of
Oh
those old
no.
class projects that didn't work right. Like it was supposed to go really high up, but it was just like
right?
and it hits the ground. You're just like,
Oh jeez.
But yeah, guys.
I should leave them alone. I should leave them alone.
So
Nah.
guys, let's I'm gonna end the show with this final thoughts. We're gonna each give our own final thoughts, but I'll start it out. My final thoughts is the moves that the Titans have made. You've heard me say it multiple times throughout this podcast, are necessary moves. They were moves that had to be made. They made great decisions. I think in the direction that we're headed, it's very vital that the next few steps we take, we hit the nail on the head. If we do that, we're gonna be set. As far as everything else goes with the tight ends and the wide receivers and the quarterbacks, I believe it's definitely a prove it, time for all of them, for Traylon Burks to Malik Willis. I think they have everything they need to kind of set them up for success. So now everything kind of rides in their own hands. Um, I hope to see Chig take a step forward this year. I believe we will see that. Josh Wiley, I'm not sure if we see a step forward from Josh Wiley. It's his second year. Most players go through a sophomore slump. We've seen that with Chig last year. I think we'll see that, maybe with Josh Wiley this year. As far as Will Levis goes, my hopes and prayers are that we see steps forward and not a sophomore slumps. If we see steps forward and improvement from him, which there's not a lot he needs to improve. There's some areas where he does, and I think we have the coach to really develop him to make those steps. So we have a potential Josh Allen type player on our hands, and it's going to be fun to watch. With D Hop and Ridley, and then defense is going to be awesome to watch now with Snead and then Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry. Let's add some few more pieces there. But my final thoughts is that the Titans are doing what they need to do, and they're doing it at the right time. We broke ground for the new Nissan Stadium. I think it was about a month ago. So we're developing this Super Bowl potential team eventually to take us into this new stadium. I think it's really exciting. This is an exciting time to be a Titans fan. It's an exciting time, to be involved and to cover them. So I'm really excited, for what the future holds. Massey, you want to give your thoughts on everything real fast?
Absolutely, man. You took the words out of my mouth right there at the end, man. I'm so excited, and I was thinking about it recently. I remember being this excited in an off season in a very long time. I'll put it that way. So, especially considering everything that's happened as far as the tenure we had with Rabel, the ups and downs, him being fired, the hiring of Callahan, and and then everything that's transpired after that. Actually, it really started with the hiring of, of Rand is what
Yeah.
started making the difference as far as the visual of the organization. So they really had me excited. They had me anxious to see what's going to go on. I really, really hope one of my main focuses, as a fan, and I will be watching closely, is what other pieces they bring in additional to the defense and how good our defense is going to do. I really truly believe we're going to have a season on offense of pairs doing really good. For example, I feel like DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley could both have a really decent season. I feel like Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears can feed off of each other and have a really good season. And if somehow, some way it worked out for the tight ends and Chig and Wiley to be able to do the same thing, they could also have a pair of a good season as well. So I'm confident in our offense to definitely be better than it has been the last 2 seasons. I hope that dream comes true. They put those pieces to the puzzle together. But the main thing that I'm really going to be, I guess you could say, concerned about or looking forward to is how well that defense is going to play and click and the consistency and things like that. So those are my main things as far as what we're getting into in the upcoming season and things like that. And like I said, man, I'm super excited, super freaking anxious, and I cannot wait to see what they do on this on this team on the field. What you got, Blue?
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys, man. I do think that, like I'm more excited about the offensive side of things, um, just for, the versatility of like the rules and stuff like that. And like I said, it's going to make everything super explosive, I feel like. And the Titans haven't had an explosive offense in a long time. So, like you said, man, I feel like the pairing of Pollard and Spears is going to be, electric. Then, you get Ridley and Hopkins going. I feel like those are both two guys that could, do well in this system and have, the 1,000-yard seasons together, collectively. And then you get the tight ends going as well. You got two great tight ends in Wiley and Okonkwo. So I'm excited for the offense and stuff, man. Just, I guess final thought from me is draft Joe Alt, please. Whatever you do, just draft Joe Alt, man. And I couldn't argue with anything else after that. You get me Joe Alt, bro, like I'm
Absolutely.
happy, like, and you nailed it, dude.
Yeah, facts, bro, facts. Guys, with that being said, man, I just want to take the time to thank both my co-hosts, Matthew Massey, aka Massey Two Savage, aka Andy Fitzpatrick, and then I
Yeah.
also want to
Let's
thank,
get back there.
I also want to thank our other fellow co-host, Matthew Maddox. Once again, he provided all the graphics today, so thank you, bro, for taking the time to help me out with that. We
So,
were,
so
we started a little late because I was running behind. If you hadn't have done that, we'd probably just now be going live. So, I just want to take the time to thank you, man. You're awesome.
for sure.
And I'm
Appreciate it, man.
super, super, super excited to have you back a part of What's Shaking Titans, man. This is going to be awesome. The original trio, the boys are back, baby. Go ahead, Massey.
Yes,
Hey, I
sir.
got I got one thing before we get out of here too, or probably a couple. But Gary, I do want to take the time as well, man. You're always giving us thanks and things like that. I want to take the time to give you your flowers too, man. If it wasn't for you, I would not be sitting here doing podcasts like I am right now. You are the reason that mine and Blueface's dreams kind of have come true as far as the podcast game goes, because we have been talking about it for so many years, and then you would come around and let Maddox on the show, and then of course everything is what it has become today, bro. So like I could not thank you enough, bro, that you have given us a platform to be able to speak on and do what we absolutely love, bro. So we appreciate the hell out of you. I'm sure Blue feels the same way, man. Um, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and plug Sports Nation
Go
Nashville
ahead,
real
man.
quick
Plug
if
it.
we
Plug
can.
it.
We will be coming back, guys. Like we don't have a certain date for y'all right now, but we will be coming back stronger than ever. Season 2 is going to be super awesome, man. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some more live game coverages. Like I said, it's called Sports Nation Nashville. Not only do we cover Tennessee Titans, we cover the NFL as a whole. We also cover NBA pretty strongly, and then I'm sure eventually we may dive into maybe like some baseball, some hockey, or whatever. But yeah, me and my brother Matthew Maddox, aka Superfan Blueface, will be back in action before too long on Sports Nation Nashville. And not only that, guys, we do have a talk show coming up as well. And Blue, if you want to, man, I'll let you go ahead and shut that one out.
Yeah, man. So the Matt and Matt talk show, we're gonna get that going here probably in the next month. I'm gonna try to get back into Sports Nation Nashville here pretty soon too. Probably more towards the closer to the preseason. We're gonna have some pretty cool contests going. If you guys subscribe and like the channel right now, you guys can get entered in to be one of the fans of the week for the upcoming season. We'll pick a different fan every week. Every fan gets entered for a chance to win $100 pro shop gift card to the Titans Pro Shop. So definitely get in on that. You'll get featured live on air. You get to shout out whoever you want to live on air and stuff like that. So that'll be super cool for people. And if you guys subscribe to the channel right now, I'm going to go through all my subscribers at the end, towards the end of the season, and I will be sending 2 people to the final Titans home game for this upcoming season. So definitely check us out at Sports Nation Nashville and the Matt and Matt Talk Show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guys, definitely go check them out. Give them a like, subscribe. As well, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to What's Shaking Titans. With that being said, guys, we love y'all. We appreciate everything that y'all do. We appreciate all the love, all the likes, all the comments. So keep it going. With that being said, guys, we're going to bounce out of here. We got 2 things we like to say when we get out of here. That's peace out and tighten up.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up.
Let's go.
This episode of What's Shaking Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue. Bailey's Barbecue, smoking good barbecue. Check us out on Facebook. If you are looking for a cater, definitely hit me up on Facebook. Give me a shout out. We'll reach out. We'll get that set up. Guys, if you're using Temu and you need a discount, use code TAN83620 to get 30% off site-wide. But if you're new to Temu, use the link in the description below and you'll receive a $100 coupon bundle after signing up. And then guys, if you're hungry and you're looking for a place to eat, go to no other than Luke's Breakfast and Burgers, located in Dixon, Tennessee at 255 Dixon Plaza Drive, Dixon, Tennessee 37055. Great food, great servers, great cooks. Definitely come check it out. One of the best burger places in Tennessee. With that being said, guys, we love y'all. We're out of here.